Alfred Hitchcock once used the analogy of a bomb in cinema to describe the difference between suspense and surprise. Quote, "Let's suppose there's a bomb underneath this table between us. Nothing happens, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's an explosion. The public is surprised, but prior to this surprise, it has been an ordinary scene of no special consequence. Now let us take a suspense situation. The bomb is underneath the table and the public knows it. The public is aware the bomb is going to explode at 1 o'clock, and there's a clock in the decor. The public can see that it is 1:45. In these conditions, the same innocuous conversation becomes fascinating because the public is participating in the scene. The audience is longing to warn the characters on the screen, you shouldn't be talking about such trivial matters. There's a bomb beneath you and it's about to explode. In the first case, we have given the public 15 seconds of surprise at the moment of the explosion. In the second, we have provided them with 15 minutes of suspense." End quote. Every writer wants their audience to be engaged with every scene, hang on their every word, and be on the edge of their seat through every climax. Many stories achieve this with flashy action scenes, steamy love plots, or deadly mysteries. Some storytellers find that this is the quickest way to get the audience to sympathize with a character, perhaps using a trope, such as to kill off someone loved to them or to tie him up in a love triangle. These easy tropes have been used so much that modern audiences often fail to engage with the story because of their presence. Any story can create a love triangle. Any horror movie can use a jump scare. But masters of suspense can take these seemingly mundane tropes and infuse them with so much energy the audience has little choice but to be glued to the screen. And using the illustration provided by the master of suspense himself, Alfred Hitchcock, we can uncover how to use this ourselves. In the case of Invincible, the audience has been informed of the metaphorical bomb in last episode's post-credit scene where Omni-Man brutally massacres the Guardians of the Globe. We know that Omni-Man is a threat, and his actions, if ever revealed, will destroy our main character's life as he knows it. The stakes are set from the very start, and the surprise of the last episode becomes suspended as the Global Defense Agency rushes in to try and save the Guardians and Omni-Man. The suspense is electric. The show does a masterful job of handling the surprise that came in episode 1's climax. Not only has the bomb now gone off, but now we watch as our heroes unknowingly rearm it. And right then, as the GDA rushes in to bring these superheroes to their hospital in the Pentagon, with all the suspense of the show at its peak at this point, the showrunners provide us with some world building in its most infamous form: exposition. Now, to avoid overly expositing about exposition, I'm going to draw off my own experience as a writer and storyteller to summarize why we use exposition and how to properly implement it, along with some of the pitfalls that are involved with trying to communicate information to your audience. Sometimes information is essential to your story, and either your characters or your audience must be informed of something. Often, the tool we are tempted to use in order to overcome this problem of our characters being ignorant of something or our audience being ignorant of something is to create a block of exposition. A block of text or dialogue, most commonly referred to as info dumping. And in a lot of stories, it feels like an info dump. A bunch of mundane and seemingly useless information dumped upon us as the audience and upon our characters in order to fill in the world a little bit. In this case, Invincible needs to introduce us to the GDA for the first time, establish them as a power in this world in order to use them later on. They do this by using suspense to infuse what would otherwise be shallow scenes of visual spectacle and mundane dialogue with weight. We listen and care about this information because the world is in danger. The bomb over which our heroes are fawning and trying to heal is in a hospital bed, while the GDA wonders what caused the explosion. The episode is made even more complex when Mark is forced to fill in for his father as a hero. We suspect at this point that his father is not the hero he's made out to be, but Mark doesn't suspect that at this point. Therefore, when the show explores the trauma caused by his attempts at heroing, it hits hard on several levels. This is taking Suspense to the next level, taking scenes that are already dynamic in their themes and tones and using Suspense to enhance them further. Much of the dialogue in this episode is bland surrounding Mark, with the major exception being Adam Eve. But the show writer's use of strong story structure makes them engaging. When Mark rushes in to be a hero for each of the Flaxen's many attacks in this episode, we are engaged because he is suffering, he is pursuing his goal, the threat itself is interesting, and the danger feels real. This is enhanced further by the introduction of world-building elements such as the teen team and his father's slow recovery and blatant lying upon awakening. The show takes this chance to also deepen our understanding of Cecil and the new character, Damien Darkblood, and the way we think of heroing in this world, adding levels of complexity that were absent before. Survivor's guilt, amongst other things. Pulled forward by the inexorable suspense presented by Omni-Man's actions and the Flaxen invasions, we listen attentively when Adam and Mark work through the trauma and survivor's guilt that comes from being made of steel in a world of flesh. They also introduce us to one of my favorite characters in the series, Alan the Alien, and grow the world of Invincible to a galactic scale. They take this time also to set up a love triangle, which I am not a fan of, but I will be covering that in a later episode. All these world building elements are in an episode that would otherwise seem mostly just like a fun superhero jaunt, calling back to the two tones that the show balances of a coming of age superhero story that's very lighthearted and a very dark and heavy exploration of the themes of a man of steel in a world of flesh. In the case of Omni-Man, his last actions give this whole episode weight, especially in the finale. All of the elements of the show come together. The Flaxens overrun our heroes despite Mark's best efforts, and Invincible is shown to be plenty vincible as he's beaten to a bloody pulp by the recurring villain, the leader of the Flaxens. The teen team is overwhelmed, and from the dust and shadows comes forth the figure of Omni-Man. He reasserts himself as a threat immediately after his recovery, routing the Flaxens and crushing their leader who had been currently about to complete the process of killing Mark. He flies through a portal, and the show takes a chance to set off its bomb once more in a place where the rest of the cast can neither see nor reach. Separated from his planet, deep in enemy territory, we feel the Flaxens are the ones outnumbered, surrounded, and trapped, as Omni-Man devastates their planet and sends a clear message to the audience. Omni-Man is callous and bloodthirsty, acting for reasons unknown and fully capable of hiding his evil in plain sight. When the credits roll, the show again leaves us in shock and awe, as the post-credit scene reveals that Damien Darkblood is rooting out the truth, lighting a fuse on the bomb that threatens to destroy everything our characters hold dear. That post-credit scene also serves dual purpose, suspending the moment of Omni-Man's reveal to drag across the whole season. As Alfred Hitchcock said, this suspense adds another layer to the rest of the season, which is already good on its own. A whole new level of complexity, of engaging with every little action Omni-Man takes, every little chance we have that Mark may learn the truth. And it all culminates in a beautiful finale that I will cover at the end of the series. But thank you for watching, and if you like this video, be sure to leave a like and a comment below letting me know what else you would like to see me talk about, any other shows or anything in Invincible that stood out to you as an excellent writing technique. If you want to see more, subscribe and hit the bell icon, and I will be finishing my series on Invincible, releasing these episodes as soon as I finish them, hopefully at a steady pace of once per week until the series is finished. But thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.